But the point of that story is quite simple, and it is outreach. It is talking to people that don't think like us, people that don't look like us, people that have never heard the message of free market economics, unlimited government, and constitutional liberty. And that is exactly what our organization is doing every day. Now on 700 campuses nationwide for the last 10 weeks since school started, we've identified hundreds of thousands of like-minded kids of the conservative, free market, limited government, conservative bent. And they want to make a difference. They're activists. They're tired of government telling them how to live their life.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching and listening to a man who, I think if he wants that kind of political future down the road, he will have as bright a political future as anyone could hope for. His name is Charlie Kirk. He's the founder and director of Turning Point USA. And when I saw the piece on him and his organization at Bloomberg.com, I said, we got to talk to Charlie. And we are talking to Charlie, and there he is. Hey, Charlie, thanks for joining us, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. A pleasure to be on.
Well, the pleasure is mine. You are doing amazing things. And it all started, you were 18 years old, which was not that long ago. And you found the donors that you needed to reach out to start your organization. Talk about getting it off the ground, and then tell us exactly what Turning Point does.
Sure, it was it was God's blessing from the beginning. But when I was 18 years old, I felt that the conservative movement was not doing adequate work in the grassroots arena, especially on college campuses across the country. I felt that there was significant lacks in the data sphere and also just the grassroots mobilization area. And I saw what Obama for America was able to do. I saw what MoveOn.org was engaging in, and I took it upon myself to first engage some people in the traditional Republican circles, and I wasn't taken too seriously being an 18-year-old, but got some great advice, and the inner entrepreneur in me decided to take my graduation money in hand and start this organization with the core belief that we must build a ground game on a 24/7, 365 basis, and we can engage college students, and this next generation can play a significant role in the revitalization of this country. And stumbled across some very generous people at a very opportune time that believed in me from the beginning. They presented the seed funding, and now we're on 800 campuses nationwide with 31 people on staff. We were able to raise $1 million last year, and we're going to add another 20 people to our full-time staff this July. It's been an incredible journey, but I can't take credit for it, nor can our team. We're just tapping into a trend that's going across the country. People are tired of government telling them how to live their life. They're tired of government being inefficient and corrupt and wasting their money. And we're just plugging into that movement that I see growing every single day across the country.
So, Charlie, do you feel, based on what you say, tapping into a movement, and by the way, you're selling yourself short, you do deserve a lot of the credit. I'll give you a lot of the credit, and the people who work for you, and the people who have supported you financially as well. But do you believe that belief system is out there, and that the kids on the colleges all around the country needed an outlet, needed to see the like-mindedness and where they could go to express it and join it with your group, or that you're convincing and converting people?
Both. And what's really interesting to me is one of the exit polls that we did after 2012. We asked students, why did you vote for Barack Obama? One of the most alarming ones that we saw in the southern Ohio belt, University of Cincinnati and schools in that region, majority of students said they voted for Barack Obama because they felt that he would make the government leave them alone and expand their freedom. Well, that's the exact opposite of what he stands for. So I believe we're plugging into a mentality that has already been widespread, but the Republican and conservative movement in general has really failed at articulating and also governing with those kind of principles and values. A lot of young people look towards the past and they say, well, other Republicans don't do what these Republicans say they're going to do, so why? So they looked at an alternative. They looked at Barack Obama, who was obviously very charismatic and, was able to, not really substantiate it, but persuade a lot of people that this is what he was going to do. And his core message, if you look down to it, of course, was to grow government. But to young people, he's like, I'm going to give you more freedom and more liberty. So I believe there is,
right,
a growing undercurrent that we can tap into. But there's still a lot of persuasion that needs to happen. There's, of course, a contingent, I'd say 40% of young people that truly do look to government as the answer. And we have to, attack them with our ideas and do it enthusiastically in a very, effective and grassroots way.
Talking about the climate on today's colleges and the political correctness, have you run into problems or roadblocks or impediments in organizing and holding your events and recruiting people and soliciting, donors and members?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. You know, the left on college campuses are very tolerant as long as you share their beliefs. Down at Broward College, we, encountered a police officer who said you cannot say big government sucks on a college campus and threatened arrest. You can see that video at our YouTube channel or on our website, and it, went viral.
Give us the website, Charlie.
TurningPointUSA.net, and our field coordinator. That video got written up by George Will, is all over the country.
Right.
And that's a trend all over the place. We encounter these things called free speech zones, which is a new phenomenon on college campuses where they say free speech is limited to a geographic area. Quite interesting concept, but it's interesting. Only conservatives and free market believers have to be in the free speech zone, but everyone else can, Planned Parenthood can march around the lecture halls with no problem. But no, of course there's antagonism. It's institutionalized, but our main movement is not just to fight against on an institutional side, but to get a grassroots momentum of students challenging their professors, their teachers, and getting chapters, organizations started on campus to espouse these principles and beliefs, and then build a machine that then can be plugged into to compete with the MoveOn.orgs. And now, quite honestly, I shouldn't even use Obama for America. It's going to be Hillary for America. She's investing incredible amount of money on the college campuses, and she's going to have a machine that's formidable if we don't get our act together.
Well, I urge everyone to go to turningpointusa.org and contribute and find out more, especially if you're college age or whatever and you want to join the movement. And I got to quickly, we have less than 30 seconds. You have, and it's not a negative if you do. Do you have political ambitions way down the road?
I mean, a lot of people have, prompted me one way or the other. I will say this. I love what I get to do now. I love to play a role in a broader movement. My passion is youth, campuses, colleges, and getting more millennials engaged, and I want to continue to do that for as long as I can.
Charlie, thank you for doing what you're doing. I want to reach out to you again in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. All right, we're coming back with Jonathan Tobin of Commentary. Don't go away.